Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Mayor and the Police Commissioner, we welcome you to the Central Park Precinct ribbon-cutting ceremony. To begin the ceremony, we ask everyone to please rise for the presentation of our colors and the singing of our national anthem by Police Officer Diane Dial, a member of the Central Park Precinct.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Officer Dial. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our invocation by Police Department Chaplain, Reverend Monsignor David Casada.
Let us remind ourselves that we are in God's presence. Let us pray. O Lord our God, on this wonderful, beautiful day, we ask in a very special way during this holy season to help us all to come together in faith, hope, and love as we celebrate the dedication of this precinct, the Central Park Precinct. We ask you, Lord, to bless all those that work here, to continue to strengthen them in all that they do, and continue to bless us as a city. And may we continue to watch over, bless, and protect our leadership as we gather here today. For you are Lord today and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor Casada. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It's indeed my pleasure to introduce members of the dais that are assembled here this morning with us. I would ask that you please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Seated on my left, the Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Michael R. Bloomberg. The Police Commissioner of the City of New York, the Honorable Raymond W. Kelly. Chief of Department, Joseph Esposito. First Deputy Police Commissioner, Rafael Pinero. Commissioner of Design and Construction, David Burney. In our second row, Police Department Chaplain, the Reverend Monsignor David L. Casada.
Good morning.
Chief of Patrol, James Hall.
Good morning.
Deputy Commissioner Operations, John Billage. The President of the Central Park Conservancy, Doug Blonsky. New York City Department of Park and Recreation, First Deputy Commissioner Liam Kavanagh. The Commanding Officer of the Central Park Precinct, Captain Jessica Corey.
Good morning.
President Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, Patrick Lynch.
Morning.
And the Commanding Officer, Patrol Bureau of Manhattan North, Assistant Chief William Morris.
Morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our day. We thank you for being here this morning with us. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Michael R. Bloomberg.
Lieutenant, thank you, and good morning, everyone. And my hat's off to those in the police department that were smart enough to stand in the back where there is sun and warmth. I don't know how we treat our guests this way, or the commissioner or myself. We're taking a bullet for everybody is a nice way to say it. But spring is coming, and it couldn't be a better place to celebrate that by being in the middle of Central Park, one of the great green spaces in the entire world. Let me start out by wishing everybody a happy Passover if you celebrate, and if you don't, that's okay too. Inside they had bagels, but no matzah. What happened here? We're going to have to work on that. Commissioner Kelly. Kelly doesn't sound Jewish, I don't know. Seriously, we're here today to mark a new chapter in the story of the world's greatest police department, and also to celebrate the close of another very remarkable one. What's new is the opening of this beautifully restored Central Park Precinct station, more than 5 years in construction, and I remember being here when we started this. 5 years in construction have updated the station that the NYPD originally occupied in Central Park back in 1936. At the same time, we've conserved many beautiful architectural elements, the masonry, tile work, slate roofs, and other touches that distinguish this 19th century building and that help it harmonize so perfectly with its surroundings. You can't improve on those features, and we didn't even try. We know what's great, and we want to preserve that. But what we have done is give Captain Jessica Corey, Captain, and the officers of her command an expanded and thoroughly modernized working environment. And we're confident that the officers here will continue to meet any challenge they encounter in the finest traditions of the finest, the NYPD. Today is also an opportunity to honor someone who has upheld those traditions throughout his entire career. He has the rare distinction of being both the highest-ranking and longest-serving member of our finest, Chief of Department Joseph Esposito. Joe joined the NYPD as a trainee in 1968, 2 years after I came here. He couldn't do that before I arrived. Over the past 44 years, he has held every rank in the department, including more than 12 and a half years as Chief of Department. He has earned both the Police Combat Cross and the Medal of Valor for confronting armed suspects. And as Chief of Department, he has managed the NYPD's response to some of the greatest challenges that it has ever faced, from the terrorist attack on 9/11 to Hurricane Sandy and its aftermath. He has also played a key role in directing the crime-fighting strategies that have made the NYPD a model for police departments around the world. And that has made New York City the safest big city in the United States. The story of Central Park, I think, symbolizes just how far we've come. When Chief Esposito joined the NYPD, the park was notoriously unsafe and shunned by New Yorkers and visitors. Today, about 40 million people enjoy Central Park every year. Just think about it. The number is just staggering. NYPD reports show that only 4 serious crimes have been committed in the park so far in 2013. There haven't been any murders in Central Park since November of '02, and that's close to 400 million visitors during that time and no murders. I'd be hard-pressed to find any place in the world where you could say that. Citywide, during Chief Esposito's tenure as Chief of Department, the NYPD has reduced crime by 40%. There's also been more than a 37% decrease in the number of murders in our city during that time, from 671 in 2000 to just 419 in 2012, the fewest number in 52 years. And tomorrow, Chief Esposito will begin the next phase of his life, a well-deserved retirement. And when he calls to say, "Where are you, Mike? I'm on the golf course," I'm going to be really annoyed. And he'll do so, enjoy his retirement with the heartiest congratulations for the incredible service that he has done for law-abiding people in our city. The spectacular record of achievement that Chief Esposito, Commissioner Kelly, and the entire NYPD have compiled is not only something that they can be proud of, it's also something we've all come to rely on. It is the foundation for all the other progress New York has made and continues to make. But that record of crime-fighting success, which in 2012 drove murders in our city to a 52-year low, and which so far this year has reduced killings in our city by another 29% over last year, is not something that we can take for granted. It requires a diverse group of officers willing to risk their lives every day for this city. It also takes politicians who understand the importance of keeping crime down. And recently, we've heard a lot of promises from the people running for office. We know that many want to saddle the NYPD with additional bureaucracy and duplicative insight. What we don't know is what they will actually do to reduce crime. We don't even know if it's a goal. And I believe the people of this city have a right to know that their mayor will keep fighting to reduce crime. The question is whether the people running for mayor believe that, because the job of any mayor is to continue to invest in the facilities and training and continue to support the leadership that make our finest the finest police department anywhere. I was telling Ray Kelly before when we walked in last night at my sister's at Seda, there was a young man who was a lieutenant in the fire department, and he grabbed me and took me aside, and he said, "We don't all understand." He said, "Oh, my whole precinct, all they're talking about is who are we going to report to, who's going to protect us, who's going to have our backs." You cannot have a command that doesn't have the confidence in the leadership, and it can't have the confidence in the leadership if at the very top, at the mayor's level, there isn't somebody that really understands how we've gotten to have the safest big city in the country, why the murder rate in our city is going down, and in other big cities it's going up. This is not an accident. It comes from a well-funded, diverse, phenomenally well-led and trained police department, and it comes from policies that make sure those kids who want to carry guns and shoot don't carry guns and don't shoot. That is the fundamental difference. We also incarcerate fewer people this year than we did any time in the last 10 years. A third fewer are incarcerated today, which means we're turning out a third fewer young criminals when they go into the jails and then come back having more exposure to bad people. We've cut that down dramatically, and I think that is also one of the reasons. But make no mistake about it, you cannot sit there and reason with young kids who want to carry a gun and who think that it's cute to go and kill somebody. The only way is you get those guns off the streets is you make sure that they understand they're going to be caught and they're going to be prosecuted if they carry a gun. Thank you.
And thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. It's now my pleasure and personal pride to introduce the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, the Honorable Raymond W. Kelly.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for making this terrific renovation possible. And let me also echo your sentiments about Chief Esposito. He has done simply a phenomenal job. Last night we had a staff dinner honoring the chief, and there'll be more to come. The city is certainly indebted to him for his service. I also want to thank Commissioner David Burney of the city's Department of Design and Construction and architect Fred Basch for providing such a terrific facility for the members of this command. I know it wasn't easy transforming the city's oldest precinct into one of the most advanced. As you can see, this project brings a 19th century station house into the 21st century, heralding a promising new future while preserving the legacy of the past. And telling this history of the Central Park Precinct would not be complete without acknowledging the outstanding contributions made by its police officers, among them Detective Stephen Mcdonald, who was with us today. Stephen is accompanied by his wife, Patty, who is the mayor of Malvern, Long Island. And as many of you know, Stephen was shot and paralyzed in 1986 when he stopped to question 3 young men in the northern section of this park. On that day, and every day since, he's demonstrated tremendous bravery and strength while promoting a message of hope and forgiveness. That has made him a constant source of inspiration to every member of this department. Stephen, it's certainly great to have you here with us today. Now, we're also joined by the family of Lieutenant Stephen Jaffe, who served this command for 11 years, first as a police officer and then as a platoon commander. 3 weeks ago, Stephen passed away after waging a courageous battle with cancer. I know that his presence is deeply missed, not only by his family, but everyone who worked with him. He was an outstanding young man. Lieutenant Jaffe helped to usher in a new era of policing here in Central Park, one that is carried on by today's police officers. I want to commend all the members of this command for everything that you do to protect, as the mayor said, the almost 40 million people who visit this park every year. By patrolling the 843 acres of Central Park, from its vehicle, pedestrian, and bridle paths to its ball fields, playgrounds, and attractions. You've helped to make it one of the safest urban parks in all the world. Crime in Central Park is down by more than 20% since 2001, and it's down by 80% compared to 20 years ago. That is an impressive accomplishment, one deserving of this upgraded and expanded station house. This facility underscores just how seriously the City of New York and its police department take our mission of keeping this park safe. So to all the members of the Central Park Command, enjoy this terrific facility. Thank you for the great work that you do, and keep it up. Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Kelly. I'd now like to introduce the Commissioner of Design and Construction, David Burney.
Thank you. In 1870, when the architect Jacob Ray Mould designed this building, it was to be part of a large park administration complex, including a police station, stables, and administration and storage buildings. Not all of that complex was built, but what you see today formed the original stables and the storage buildings. It's been home to the police department since 1936. I think if Commissioner Kelly had been around, he probably would have put horses in the stables, but I think in that time it was actually made a garage for the NYPD vehicles. Over the years, you know, the brownstone facade and the slate roof deteriorated, and in 2001, the PD precinct moved out into a temporary building in the adjacent parking lot just behind us over there. In 2009, we began the process of transformation, enclosing the original courtyard with a lightweight metal roof that you see here and the glazed entry wall to create a lobby with the main desk. The exterior walls were completely refurbished, the brownstone and the brick, as you see, the slate roof completely rebuilt, the interior replanned to accommodate offices, prisoner processing, holding cells, and muster room on the ground floor, and lockers and other office accommodation on the upper floors. So this landmark structure is now set for a new lease of life as the new Central Park Precinct. I really want to thank Commissioner Kelly and his staff, particularly Danny Deal and the late Anthony Trier, who worked so hard on this project. Commissioner Tierney from Landmark Preservation Commission and his staff, who worked with us on the design. Doug Blonsky from Central Park Conservancy and Liam Kavanagh from the Parks Department, who again helped us with the design. The profile of the roof over the courtyard is very flat, and one of the issues was to try to minimize the impact on the visibility of the building from the park. And I think we worked long and hard with Parks and with Landmarks to accomplish that, and with the design team. For DDC, I want to thank Vinod Devgan, Assistant Commissioner for our Police and Fire Unit, Program Director Barbara Spandorf, Deputy Program Director Kevin Arscott, our Design Project Manager Maria Janssen, and our Construction Project Managers Jerry Hart and Charlie Kozowski. Charlie K. is here today. And of course the architects, Fred from Carlsberger, who spent many years of his young life on this project, I know. Happy to see you here. Not to forget our construction team, URS Corporation, who are our construction managers, general contractors, CNL Contracting, Eldor Electrical, Lafata Carello Plumbing, and CDE Air Conditioning. You know, in recognition of the quality of this renovation, which I think is one of the best adaptive reuses we've done, the project deservedly received a Lucy G. Moses Preservation Award in 2011, and an Engineering News Record Award for the Best Restoration of 2012. So that's certainly commendation and accolades that well deserved. This was a labor of love for the Department of Design and Construction. I hope that the members of the Central Park Precinct enjoy this building as much as we enjoyed delivering the project to you. So congratulations and enjoy.
And thank you, Commissioner Burney. It's now my pleasure to introduce the commanding officer of the Central Park Precinct, Captain Jessica Corey.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor Bloomberg, Commissioner Kelly, Chief Esposito, and welcome everybody to Central Park Precinct. I was trying to figure out how to open what I was going to say, and when somebody arrived here with the ceremonial unit today, one of the officers from another precinct, he walked in and he looked around and he said, "Wow." And wow is how we all feel. And I've got a lot of people that outrank me that have seen the place for the first time today, and they're talking about taking my office. I just want to also welcome Detective Stephen Mcdonald and say thank you for being here today. Welcome home. And Louisa and Eileen, thank you for being here as well. When this building was first built in 1871, around that time there were about 4.5 million visitors to Central Park a year. And at that time they were sort of concerned that people weren't going to get to use the park in the intended way where everybody would be able to come and use it at their own pace and do different things and work in harmony in the park. And what's happened now is, as the mayor and the police commissioner said, we have over 40 million visitors to Central Park, and we're able to provide for them a place that they can all enjoy, and people can do so many different things. I mean, when the park was, when this building was first built, behind us was not the Great Lawn. It was actually a reservoir, which has been filled in and created the Great Lawn. And we have major events, the New York City Marathon, we have Philharmonic concerts, and just all sorts of different 21 playgrounds, 26 baseball fields, 58 miles of path. And it's all used by people who get to, if they want to bird watch or they want to run or they want to bicycle in the park, it's able to be used as intended. It's kept safe by the men and the women of Central Park Precinct in conjunction with our partners, the Central Park Conservancy, as well as the Parks Department. This building is the jewel of the police department. It's modern and technologically upgraded, but it's true to its roots. We love working here. We love being here every day. And I thank you, everybody who is involved in this. And when we're done at the conclusion of this, we'll have lunch inside. And Mr. Mayor, we have matzah, we have coconut macaroons, and we have almond bark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. At this point, we would ask the mayor and the commissioner to join the rest of the dais over at our ribbon-cutting ceremony.